Guys, got cut off there. And as I was saying, see this truth again. Because he said, grieved him on his heart, he regretted making man on earth because the world had become a world of Sodom and Gomorrahs. A world of Sodoms and Gomorrahs. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing and the fowls of the air, demons. For it repenteth me that I have made them. Okay then. So, all of that is witchcraft. I need to find more betrayal. Sorry guys, this might take a minute. I need to find the exact parts in the Bible. This is the thing. That's my enlightenment sermon. This is not negotiable. Enlightenment. Here's another betrayal. Abraham deceives Abimelech. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country, and dwelled between Kadesh and Sur, and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech king of Gerar sent, and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man. Behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. But Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Said he not unto me, She is my sister? And she even herself said, He is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. And God said unto him in a dream, Yea, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart. For I also withheld thee from sin against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die. Know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that thine are. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning, and called his servants, and told all these things in their ears. And the men were very afraid. Well, it says sore afraid, but I imagine that's probably the same thing, or, similar. Okay, so now we have to find betrayal again. I keep finding enlightenment, but not betrayal. Give me a second. Sorry this is taking so long. It seems that it's not in this part of the Bible, so we have to kind of wait a minute. A lot of this stuff is enlightenment and witchcraft by the looks of it from my last sermon. I actually cannot find any more betrayal at the minute. And I have to actually stop this video in a minute if I can't find anything, which is rather annoying, but it's very typical. Here it is. Betrayal. Miriam's song. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. So whoever will betray them, the Lord has thrown into the sea. Whoever shall betray them, or if they will make a move. I don't know. What I imagine is that the Lord is forgiving of all sins, and that the Lord is throwing the betrayer into the sea. That's what I'm seeing. The Lord is throwing the betrayer into the sea and giving them their due punishment. That's what I would imagine this to be. But I may not be correct. It could be that the Lord possibly wants to forgive the betrayer. I don't know. I doubt it. I'd imagine it would be a punishment. Okay then, the bitter waters of Marah. The bitter waters of Marah. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter, before the name of it called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord shewed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, If thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and wilt do that which is right in his sight, and wilt give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. And a particular story, I just kind of watched a video only a few moments ago, and it reminds me of a story. So there was this young lady who was basically being attacked in the head by demons, and she was in a very dark place, and she went downstairs. There was a statue of Saint Michael, and something was calling her to take it with her because she wanted to hang herself with a noose. And so she wanted to hang herself from maybe a garden pole or something like that. And something was calling to her, telling her to take Archangel Michael with her. And she picked the statue up, took it with her. Her mum walked in, absolutely giving the most terrorized scream I could ever imagine giving, well, a person having. And her mother saw what was about to happen, and she screamed very loudly, and a police officer came and saved the girl's life. And doesn't that show to you that Archangel Michael and the angels are always on our side? It's like the demons and the devil are constant betrayers, constant belittlers, and the Lord and the angels are forever on our side, fighting for us, trying to make sure that no matter what our mistakes are, that we can make it in this life, that we can make a better life for everyone if we can only try. Okay. Wilderness murmurings. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, Would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. Or ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. So obviously the Lord didn't send them into the wilderness to die of hunger. The Lord sent them into the wilderness to get away from the gossip and the betrayal and the destruction and chaos being caused by others. But of course, within this time, they didn't know that that was the case. But they should have known, because the Lord only wants the best for us. He doesn't want the worst. Murmurings for water. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin, after their journeys according to the commandment of the Lord, and pitched in Rephidim. I don't know how even to say that. And there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people did chide with Moses. Give us water. Talk with Moses, I guess. Give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why talk with me? Wherefore do you tempt the Lord? And the people thirsted for water, and people murmured against Moses, and said, Wherefore is that thou that hast brought us up out of Egypt, to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, What shall I do unto this people? They almost be ready to stone me. And this is another thing, betrayal. You take a simple thing away, and people are ready to betray and devour each other. And this is why, when the end of days comes, whenever that is, that man will eat man. And although it's a disgusting possibility, I'm imagining, sadly, it will happen at some point. And you have to trust and know with the Lord, because the Lord is not sending you out to die. The Lord is sending you out to protect you. The Lord is trying to make a place for you, make a way for you. Is trying to help you in any divine and possible way that he can, whether it be through angels, whether it be through his blessings, whether it be through prayer, whether it be through any kind of protection he can give you. The Lord will always give. The Lord doesn't take away unless it is for your good. The Lord never takes away anything that you need or that is vital to live. The Lord only takes away stuff that is toxic and harmful unto you. The Lord wants your betterment. The devil wants your downfall. Remember that. Okay, Moses smites the rock of Horeb. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go on before the people, and take with thee the elders of Israel, and thy rod, with thou smotest the river. Take in thine hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, even, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel, and he called the name of the place Massah, and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, Is the Lord among us or not? So, see, the Lord didn't have to prove himself. The Lord didn't have to give them water. Yet out of mercy, out of love, out of diligence, out of care, out of complete charity, complete brilliance, and amazingness and kindness, and most of all mercy, the Lord gave, and the Lord never stops giving. Israelites battle Amalek. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, Choose us out men, and go out. Fight with Amalek tomorrow. I will stand on top of the hill, with the rod of God in mine hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel had prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone, and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the one side, and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses, Write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek under the heavens. God's deliverance. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance, and kissed him. And they asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how the Lord delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Jethro said, Blessed be the Lord, who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who hath delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, for in the wing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for God. And Aaron came, and all the elders of Israel, to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. Okay then. And this is another thing I say of any enemies. Show mercy. Forgive them as they do not understand. And, well, bless them and let them live. Because the thing is, I think it takes a good man to say nothing, but it takes a better man to bless his enemies, to pray for them, and to love them. It takes a better man to do that, to do all that God would do, to bless them, to love them, to pray for them, to, just love them. Sometimes if it's from a distance, that's fine. Just as long as you love them, you pray for them, you care for them. That's all. That's important. Even if they did betray you, it still needs to be done. The mercy seat. And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold, 2 cubits, and a half shall be the length thereof, and the cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And thou shalt make 2 cerebrums of gold, of beaten work, shalt thou make them into 2 ends of the mercy seat, and make 1 cherub on the other end, and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall me make the cherubs on the 2 ends thereof. In other words, it's just talking about a mercy seat. And it says, which are upon the ark of all things which I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel. So basically, thou shalt put the mercy seat above the ark, and in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee. And I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat. So give mercy unto others, even when they don't deserve it. Give mercy unto others, even when they don't deserve it. Goat's hair curtains. Goat's hair curtains. So people hiding themselves, hiding their truth, not being truthful, lying, basically being demonic or evil or dark, having bad intentions, having a veil, pretending to be good and being evil, or something like that. Goat's hair curtains. And thou shalt make curtains of goat's hair, to be a covering upon the tabernacle. And thou shalt make curtains of goat's hair, to be a covering upon the tabernacle. 11 curtains shalt thou make. 11 curtains shalt thou make. So does that not say like 11 betrayers? That's what it looks like with me. As a lamb, well, as a lamb of God, as one of the Holy Spirit. That's what it looks like to me. As goats, obviously, goats are of the devil. Goats are of demons. The length of one curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain shall be 4 cubits. And 11 curtains shall be all of one measure, because they're all lined together. Usually, betrayers betray as more than one. As, well, really so exists the Legion and the Devil, and all of his kind of hierarchies, obviously. And thou shalt couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and shalt double the 6th curtain in the forefront of the tabernacle. Because what's this talking about? This is talking about the possibly it's the feast of the. I think it's the feast of the tabernacle. It's something to do with the tabernacle. It's very important. I remember that much. I need to do a actual video covering like the kind of, well, the real holy days within the Bible, because I haven't done that and I should do it. Thou shalt make 50 loops onto one curtain edge, and the remnant that remaineth of the curtain of the tent, half it, and shall hang over the back of the side of the curtain. Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense, so I'm just moving on. The covering and the boards. And thou shalt make a covering for a tent of rams, skins dyed red, and covering above of badger skins. And thou shalt make boards for the tabernacle of Shittim, wood standing up. This is in the Bible, so anybody who's going to accuse me of making this up, this is genuinely in the Bible. And I imagine the covering and the board, this is just the Lord saying the covering, the boards, as with the goat's hair curtains. It's a facade. It's, people who are irreparably evil pretending to be good. That is usually a betrayer. A betrayer is people hiding behind goodness, hiding behind honesty, behind truth, behind everything, and just being evil, and evil nonetheless, hurting people, doing horrible things, There are some people who really do some crazy, horrible things. There was this documentary that I was watching about 2 women who were shoved in a freezer, and I was just like, geez, how evil can one person be? But yeah, this is the sad reality that, can be there. The bars. And thou shalt make bars of Essim wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars of the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and the 5 bars for the boards of the west side. And thou shalt rear the tabernacle according to the fashion theremost of which, was shewed thee in the mount. The veil, the veil. See, so it's so many points where the goat's hair curtains, the covering the boards, the bars, and God did say, where the bars are concerned, the betrayers will either be in like a spiritual or a mental jail, or possibly even a physical jail, if they have betrayed and betrayed vigorously and horridly and just done it for evil's sake. If somebody has betrayed and betrayed just for evil or just to see someone's downfall, then they will reap the evil that they sow. They will always reap the evil that they sow. So this is why you see people living horrible and bad lives, because usually they reap what they sow. And if they sow gossip and evil and mistreatment and foulness, then that is what they get in return. As it was the veil. So, of course, the veil, they're not what they truly are seen to be. It's the mask, something like that. I do love that film, mind. The Mask is a very good film. The hanging for the door. And thou shalt make a hanging for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework. And thou shalt make the hanging 5 pillars of Essam wood, and overlay them with gold, and the hooks shall be of gold. And thou shalt cast 5 sockets of brass for them. I don't actually greatly understand this one. Maybe it's the Lord is telling us to hang these at our door if we've been betrayed, and then the Lord will justify it. I don't know. It's a bit of a confusing one. I don't know what this one even means. Betrayal. Here we go again. The court, and thou shalt make the court of the tabernacle for the south side southward. There shall be hangings for the court of fine twined linen of 100 cubits long for one side, and the 20 pillars thereof, and their 20 sockets shall be of brass, and the hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side in their length there shall be hangings of 100 cubits long, and his 20 pillars and their 20 sockets of brass, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the breadth of the court west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10 and their sockets 10. And the breadth of the court on the east side shall be 50 cubits. The hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3 and the sockets 3. On the other side shall be hangings 15 cubits, their pillars 3 and sockets 3. And for the gate of the court shall be a hanging of 20 cubits, of blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined linen, wrought with needlework, and their pillars shall be 4, and their sockets 4. All the pillars round about the court shall be filtered with silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and the sockets of their brass. Okay. Dimensions of the court. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere, and the height 5 cubits of fine twisted linen, and their sockets of brass, and the vessel of the tabernacle, in all the service therefore, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass. Olive oil for the lamp. And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring the pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always, as this grants protection from the Lord against all forms of betrayal and anything evil and dark. In the tabernacle, especially the demonic, this is something it's saying to me. In the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil, which is before the testimony, without the veil, which is before the testimony,